A safe Libya good for Africa, President Buhari tells envoys. President Buhari closes defense at Presidential Election Petition Court. Date for adoption of final addresses fixed.
There has been a lot of initiatives within the western part of this country on how to cooperate and stop the killings that are taking place between one community and another.
Good evening. This is NTA Network News. I am Jumba Yusuf. Reading with me tonight is Hingino John Adams in Lagos and Asmao Habiba Shagari in Sokoto. We begin with President Muhammadu Buhari expressing optimism that a peaceful Libya will help a great deal in the overall development of Africa. The president said this while exchanging views with the new Libyan ambassador to Nigeria, Ayad Musbah Faraj Atayari. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the Nigerian leader also granted audience to two other new envoys posted to the country.
The new Libyan envoy, Ayad Musbah Faraj Atayari, formally presents his letter of credence to President Muhammadu Buhari. Exchanging views shortly after, the president believes that early restoration of peace and stability in Libya will greatly minimize the current state of insecurity being experienced in some parts of Africa. Efforts, he says, should be directed towards achieving the objective as soon as possible in the greater interests of the continent. The president maintains that peace in Libya will not only translate to economic prosperity and development, but also a more secure Africa as well as a stabilized oil industry. Ambassador Faraj Atayari, who conveyed the greetings of the Libyan Prime Minister to President Muhammadu Buhari, said his country is counting on Nigeria to use its position in Africa to help his country return to normalcy. He praised the Nigerian leader for consolidating Nigeria's leadership role in Africa through some crucial interventions. President Muhammadu Buhari also received a letter of credence from the ambassador of Venezuela to Nigeria, Davis Niz Velasquez. The president congratulated President Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela for his commitment to democracy. Ambassador Velasquez expressed appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for his show of support and solidarity to the government of Venezuela and expressed the need to take bilateral cooperation between the two countries to the next level. He expressed the belief that the ties could be stronger, especially in the fields of education and health. The ambassador formally extended an invitation of his president to the Nigerian leader to visit Venezuela. Similarly, Ambassador Min Sui of Myanmar presented his letter of credence to the president. The ambassador said Myanmar highly respects the position of Nigeria as the giant of Africa and also shares similarities with the country in the diversity of ethnic groups. He promised to use his tenure as ambassador to strengthen relations, especially in the areas of wildlife, natural, as well as water resources. Officers and soldiers of the Presidential Guards Brigade had earlier accorded a befitting diplomatic reception to the three new envoys as they arrived to formally begin official responsibilities in Nigeria. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Despite the challenges confronting Nigeria, it could not afford to look the other way when Zimbabwe was hit with cyclone early this year, which enormously ravaged the country and therefore had to offer a helping hand. President Muhammadu Buhari disclosed this while receiving in audience the outgoing ambassador of Zimbabwe to Nigeria, Lovemore Mazemo. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has details.
President Muhammadu Buhari described the devastating cyclone as a major disaster that caused damage to Zimbabwe in billions of dollars. Nigeria, he said, had to provide aid to ameliorate the situation. The president described as gladdening that the outgoing ambassador and his country appreciated Nigeria's hand of fellowship. Goods and property estimated at $2 billion were lost when Cyclone Idai, believed to be the costless natural disaster in Southwest Indian Ocean Basin, ravaged Zimbabwe, Mozambique and Malawi. President Buhari also recalled the role played by Nigeria to secure the independence of Zimbabwe from apartheid minority rule, saying the country remains proud of what it did in those days. Ambassador Mozemo, who spent 4.5 years in Nigeria, said the assistance given by the country after the devastating cyclone had gone a long way to relieve the people of Zimbabwe. The ambassador congratulated President Buhari on the confidence reposed in him by Nigerians and appreciated his leadership for Africa in the war against corruption. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The federal government says its priority focus on the development of infrastructure and agriculture is a deliberate attempt towards creating job opportunities for the unemployed, as well as ensuring peace and equitable prosperity for future generations. President Muhammadu Buhari stated this during an audience with the visiting Director General of the International Labour Organization, Guy Ryder. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
The Director General of the International Labour Organization, ILO, Mr. Guy Ryder, is in Nigeria to attend the Global Youth Employment Forum convened to address practically the most pressing challenge of finding decent jobs for young people. President Muhammadu Buhari assured the ILO chief that their deliberations will be followed with keen interest as job creation is a key priority for his administration. He attributed some of the achievements of his government so far to strategic, fiscal and monetary policy decisions, as well as wide consultations before taking critical decisions, and appreciated the nation's labor force for being supportive.
A good example was during the African Continental Free Trade Agreement review and the national minimum wage negotiations. One of the people sitting with you has caused my former minister to go grey prematurely. This consultative approach aligns with the vision of the International Labour Organization to keep communications open, create jobs, ensure social justice, and eliminate worker exploitation.
On the government's commitment to agricultural revolution, the president said it is simply impossible for a country of close to 200 million people to rely on food inputs, while the attack on the big deficit in power, roads, bridges, rails and housing is to provide jobs and support economic growth.
Nigeria today has one of the fastest growing population growth rates in the world. We must therefore ensure adequate housing is available today and for many years to come.
President Buhari used the opportunity to congratulate the International Labour Organization on its 100th year anniversary. The ILO chief, Mr. Guy Ryder, had told the president that over 60 countries are participating at the Global Youth Employment Forum in Abuja and expressed the commitment of the organization towards enhancing areas of collaboration and cooperation with Nigeria.
Our partnership with Nigeria is a strong one. I am aware of the priorities that you have set out for your second mandate, sir, and we believe that the contributions we can make can be important to the delivery of that mandate. I'm aware, of course, of the security and corruption priorities you've set. Our intention is to be at your service in driving Nigeria towards the growth and development goals that you set for it. Thank you again for your attention, sir.
Mr. Guy Ryder said ILO is already working with the Ministry of Labour and Employment to prepare employment policies about youth employment, migration, safety, and health productivity. At the moment, he explained, the focus is the practical implementation of the worthy initiatives. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
British government pledges to strengthen relationship with Nigeria through youth empowerment and support in agriculture, education and small-scale businesses. This was when British Secretary of State Department for International Development Alok Arma visited Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai of Kaduna State. Mohammed Umar Anjigi reports.
It is the first assignment of the Secretary outside the United Kingdom since his appointment less than a week ago. After some hours with Governor Nasru Ahmad El-Rufai behind closed doors, the British Secretary briefed journalists.
And I've had a really good discussion with the Governor, talking about the innovative work that he has been doing in the state, the work that we're also supporting through my department, and of course talking not just about the work in terms of education and healthcare, but also talking about economic development.
They are developing the first real ranch in Nigeria, in Damao. They're investing close to 50 million euros with the objective of sedentarizing the herders so that they stop moving up and down with all the attendant problems this has caused. This is perhaps the most advanced and most successful attempt at solving the farmer-herder problem.
Beside the support in education and healthcare, Governor El-Rufai and his guests discussed issues of bilateral interest regarding the forthcoming Africa Investment Summit scheduled for January in London. Nigeria is one of the key partners with British government in Africa. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Jingi, NTA News.
And now to security matters. The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, joined the governors of Zamfara, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Niger and Kaduna states in a meeting with other stakeholders to find a lasting solution to issues of banditry, kidnapping, cattle rustling, among other security challenges in the northwest. Correspondent Mohammed Salisu Awal has details of the report.
The convener of the meeting, who is the Inspector General of Police, says the meeting is a continuation of what they started to ensure peace and security not only in the northwest but the country as a whole.
Our meeting today is a review of what we've been doing for a very long time. Before today, there has been a lot of initiatives within the northwestern part of this country on how to cooperate and stop the killings that are taking place between one community and the other, the kidnappings that are taking place, and other security challenges.
For Nigeria to maintain its position in high-level production in agriculture, cattle rearing, and other livestock activities, it requires a stable and peaceful environment, which is the task of security agencies to provide, says the Inspector General. Governor Aminu Bello Masari, who is the chief host at the meeting, said governors will continue to provide the necessary support and cooperation for peace and security to return in the northwest and other parts of the country.
We welcome the initiative of the Inspector General and assure that we as the governors will have clear aware of our responsibility for ensuring and securing lives, properties, and well-being of our people.
The meeting, which continued behind closed doors, is expected to galvanize solutions with the aid of various stakeholders. In Katsina, Mohammed Salis Awal, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army Resource Center is focusing on the changes in global contemporary security challenges, which are said to require collaboration among government agencies and regular capacity development. These were echoed at the maiden graduation of participants of the Strategic Management and Policy Studies Course 1. The first correspondent, Ismail Musa, reports.
Nigeria is facing multifaceted security threats in different parts of the country, destroying lives and retarding socio-economic activities. A development that has put the country's security agencies on their toes. The Nigerian Army is therefore developing the capacity of officers and selected personnel from government agencies for effective collaboration to manage resources and combat the threats.
Let me begin by commending the Chief of Army
Despite
Staff.
different ongoing operations, constant review of strategies and joint operations, the Chief of Defense Staff noted is necessary.
This forum presents yet another opportunity for me to express the appreciation of the Armed Forces of Nigeria to Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, for the support and encouragement to the capacity development and the welfare needs of the Armed Forces of Nigeria.
The idea to develop this program was born out of a yearning to fill the noticeable gaps in the career management of the top echelon of senior officers of the Nigerian Army, and indeed all other relevant security services.
19 participants from the military and other selected government agencies participated in the 13-month course affiliated to the Nigerian Defense Academy, Kaduna. In view of the dynamism in the contemporary knowledge-driven environment, the Nigerian Army Resource Center was established in 2015 to provide research-based solutions to defense and security issues while enhancing human resource development. From the Nigerian Army Resource Center in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
6 recommendations were made at the end of the 2-day roundtable discussion on national security issues for political stability in Minna, Niger State. Dauda Mohammed reports that the convener of the forum, former head of state General Abdulsalami Abubakar, cautioned Nigerians against hate speech and worked towards ensuring peace and harmony in the country.
The communique at the end of the meeting, read out by General Anton Ukbo, a former military administrator of Rivers State, suggests that the role of the military should be limited to defending the country and not doing police jobs as presently being witnessed. The communique also calls on political leadership at all levels to engage citizens, including traditional rulers, while addressing the root causes of insecurity. The communique also calls on actors engaged in crop farming and livestock production to migrate from traditional to modern systems of agriculture to boost profits.
The federal and state governments should ensure clear separation of religion and state as stipulated in the 1999 Constitution, while adhering to the rule of law in addressing issues of religion and security.
Let's hope the proposal, the recommendation, went forwarded to the various authorities. They will have a look at it and find it useful for implementation.
Women are interested in peace building, in conflict resolution, and being part of the solution.
Other recommendations by the roundtable include a call on government at all levels to create enabling environment for job creation to engage the teeming youth population. In Minna, Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
Magajin Garin Daura Alhaji Musa Umar Daura has received a warm reception from the Emir and people of Daura following his rescue from the hand of his abductors. The Magajin Garin Daura returned home Wednesday for the first time since his abduction. Correspondent Awal Haliru completes the report.
Since his abduction, this is the first time he returned to his family home in Daura. Alhaji Musa Umar, the Magajin Garin Daura, received a rousing welcome from the emirate and the people of Daura. During the reception, the Emir Alhaji Umar Farooq Umar expressed gratitude to God for the safe return of the district head, saying his abduction was a very painful experience for the entire people of Daura Emirate and Katsina State in general. Families and relatives expressed their feelings for the safe return of Alhaji Musa Umar.
And we are so happy that God has answered our prayer and has delivered him to us safe and sound.
In Daura, Awal Haliru, NTA News.
Time now to take a break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Data is oxygen. Glow Daily Data Splash. 1 gigabytes for 300 naira. 2 gigabytes for 500 naira. Your #1 4G network nationwide.
Bayes University is a fully licensed university operating since 2011 and has grown to have 32 accredited programs in 6 faculties. This includes computer and applied sciences, management and social sciences, engineering, environmental sciences, law, and basic medical sciences. The university also offers postgraduate programs and foundation courses in a conducive learning environment with modern teaching facilities and high-quality national and international staff. Bayes University graduates have either progressed into respectable career positions or have obtained postgraduate degrees from different parts of the world with distinctions. Call or visit www.bayesuniversity.edu.ng. Bayes University, Abuja. Learn to live.
We want to buy Indomie noodles. 4 packs, please.
Yo.
This is not my Indomie. Please, sir, it's not Indomie. Don't call it Indomie.
Sir, the taste is the difference. The difference is in the taste. That's why my brothers, my mommy, my daddy, and I all enjoy our delicious, so very delicious Indomie noodles. The difference is the taste.
Taste is the difference.
Yes, difference is in the taste. Nothing tastes like my Indomie.
Indomie Super Pack, now available at 85 Naira. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good.
Yeah, Mom, you are extraordinary. You always go the extra mile to make sure my breakfast is made with extra nutritious Milo. I want to say a big thank you. You are extra precious and extra super.
Milo is thanking moms for being extraordinary by giving the family an extra 50 grams of delicious Milo for every 500-gram pouch bought. Don't miss out. Offer valid while stocks last.
The fastest growing educational institution in Africa, Afe Babalola University, Abuja, is conducting third batch admission screening into the colleges of engineering, law, sciences, social and management sciences, medicine and health sciences. 10 a.m. prompt, Saturday, 17th August 2019. Centers: Afe Babalola University, Ado-Ekiti, Government Secondary School, Gariki, Abuja; Afe Babalola Auditorium, University of Lagos; Elechi Amadi Polytechnic, Rumole Road, Port Harcourt; Master Care International School, Asaba; Montessori International College, 66 Airport Road, Warri. Undergraduate, direct entry and postgraduate admissions available in all colleges. Access www.abua.edu.ng or call 080-335-09150 or 090-116-73845.
Abuja, providing the missing link.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
Thanks for staying and welcome back on Network News. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says Nigeria can benefit from the United Kingdom in its ongoing reform of the business environment by learning from how the British resolved similar challenges. This was during a meeting with the newly appointed United Kingdom Secretary of State for International Development, Marok Bralok Sharma, at the presidential villa. State House correspondent Jide Onifadi reports.
Among issues raised during the meeting involves the ease of doing business in the country. And Vice President Yemi Osinbajo observes that one of the critical issues with the ease of doing business is with respect to the registration of property and how the process is long drawn. He says this is an area where Nigeria and UK can collaborate. The Vice President also touches on the National Livestock Transformation Plan, stating that the federal government and states decided on ranching as an option for livestock breeding. Mr. Alok Sharma commends the Vice President for his role in driving the ease of doing business reforms and commends the country for moving up 24 places in the World Bank Ease of Doing Business ranking. The rehabilitation of the Northeast region and how the British could support the process going forward was also discussed. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has closed the case in defense of his electoral victory before the Presidential Election Petition Court sitting in Abuja. The lead counsel to the President Muhammadu Buhari, Wole Olanipekun San, told the court that the legal team of the president was satisfied closing its case, having reviewed the submission of the petitioners. Dele Atumbi reports.
In this case, the PDP and its candidate Atiku Abubakar are the petitioners, while INEC, President Muhammadu Buhari, and the All Progressive Congress are the respondents. The petitioners are challenging the conduct of the presidential election in Niger, Yobe, Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, Bauchi, Borno, Nasarawa, Kebbi, Gombe, and Jigawa states. All the areas being challenged on the conduct of the election are within the North Central, Northeast and Northwest geopolitical zones of the country. As agreed by all the council in the case, the petitioners had 10 days to prove the alleged infractions. The 3 respondents have 6 days each to defend the electoral victory of President Muhammadu Buhari. While closing its case on Monday, INEC, through its counsel Usman Ustaz SAN, said the electoral umpire was not calling any witness with the aim of making a no-case submission in its final address. In opening its defense, the second respondent, apart from tendering documents to push his case, President Muhammadu Buhari, through his counsel Wole Olanipekun SAN, called witnesses to prove that the presidential election was free and fair in the 11 states being challenged by the PDP and its candidate Atiku Abubakar. APC ward agents from Nasarawa and Niger states have affirmed before the court that the presidential election was conducted in line with the Electoral Act in their states. On the issue of eligibility, Wole Olanipekun SAN has equally laid before the court the certified true copy of the statement of results of 18 candidates, including President Buhari, who sat for the school leaving certificate examination at the Katsina Provincial Secondary School in 1961. One of the classmates of President Muhammadu Buhari, Suleiman Maradua, at the Katsina Provincial Secondary School, also testified before the court that he took the school leaving examination alongside others in 1961. Before closing his case, President Muhammadu Buhari called 7 witnesses. Wole Olanipekun SAN said, having studied the soft and the hardwares of the petition and the evidence of the petitioners, the legal team of President Buhari was satisfied with the evidence it has laid before the court. The All Progressives Congress, through its counsel Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, argued that since the petitioners have not been able to prove the case of alleged infractions during the presidential election, the party would not call any witness. Fagbemi SAN thereby closed the APC case as the third respondent in the matter. With this development, counsel in this matter have between Monday 5th August 2019 and 16th August 2019 to file their final addresses and replies on the point of law.
I made out a case for them to refute. That's just the input. I assure you that this case, I hope so, will define electoral jurisprudence in this country one way or the other.
Justice Mohammed Garba-led Presidential Election Petition Court thereby adjourned till 21st August 2019, when all parties in the matter will adopt their final addresses. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Only 54 out of the 120 observer groups accredited in the 2019 general elections and National Assembly elections have so far presented their reports to the Independent National Electoral Commission. The National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies disclosed this when it presented its report to INEC in Abuja. The Commission notes that the development is not only encouraging, given the importance attached to recommendations from observer groups to help improve the electoral process. The Director General, National Institute
to get accredited, you will be disappointed by the figures that have so far given a report back on what they observed.
The Director General, National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, Professor Abubakar Olarinwaju Suleiman, observed that the Commission and INEC have a joint responsibility to ensure improvement of not only the electoral process but also enhance the processes of good governance and democratic culture in Nigeria. He is optimistic that the findings, observations and recommendations will be useful to INEC for future improvement in Nigeria electoral process.
Not only by the government of the day or by the key stakeholders in governance, but fundamentally by the observer, either from within or from outside.
Yes. The Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Ahmed Idris Wase, has assured the British government of maximum cooperation in strengthening parliamentary relations of both countries with the aim of delivering good governance to the people. This was while receiving the new British Deputy High Commissioner to Nigeria, Gil Atkinson, in Abuja. Deputy Speaker Idris Wase says Nigerian government is open to collaborative initiatives that will be of benefit to the citizens.
We can do more, and I want to appeal on behalf of our country that you should extend your gesture in the field of security, in the field of humanitarian services, and whatever. And so that is my appeal to you.
When I get back to the office, we'll be talking to our parliamentarians, officers, about how we can improve the relationships between our parliaments, because it's through parliamentary democracy that countries develop stability and prosperity and human rights. Able to offer my condolences to Parliament, the government and the people of Nigeria on the deaths in Borno State last weekend.
The British Deputy High Commissioner believes the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association is an avenue for Nigeria to deepen her legislative institutions for national development. She also urged Nigerians to take advantage of Brexit if achieved for social economic benefits. Former chairman of the Nigerian Football Association Federation, Alhaji Sani Lulu Abdullahi, has indicated interest in contesting the governorship election in Kogi State. Alhaji Sani Lulu Abdullahi, who wishes to contest on the platform of the All Progressives Congress, picked up the indication of interest and nomination forms at the APC National Secretariat in Abuja. Accompanied by a large number of supporters, Sani Lulu Abdullahi, after collecting the forms, spoke to newsmen on what makes him the best aspirant in the November 16th governorship election in Kogi.
I've always been in giving my best with the state. I now know that the people want me to come and give my best, just like I've done in where I've worked before, as director of sports, as a president of Nigerian Football Federation, where I was so transparently representing their interests and accounting for every bit of resources I had.
First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, congratulates female ministers nominated by President Muhammadu Buhari and approved by the National Assembly. In a statement signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Administration, Dr. Hoja Sani, Mrs. Buhari is convinced that their membership of the Federal Executive Council will add value to the ongoing call for inclusive governance, while thanking the President for increasing the number of women in the Federal Cabinet. The First Lady calls on the appointees to remain focused and provide exemplary services towards the actualization of the vision of President Muhammadu Buhari. Sokoto Network Center is next with Asma'u Habibu Shagari. Hello, Asma'u.
Hello, Jumai. Good evening and welcome to Sokoto. More than 26,000 patients in Moru local government area of Zamfara State are to benefit from a free medical outreach by the Nigerian Air Force. The beneficiaries, drawn from 3 districts of the area, are mostly those affected by the activities of the armed bandits. Jamilu Ibrahim has more.
Kanoma community in Maru local government area of Zamfara State is one of the areas most hit by the activities of armed bandits, which have exposed them to a number of health-related challenges as they begin to enjoy the restoration of a relative peace in the area. The flag off of a free medical outreach for members of the communities by the Nigerian Air Force is therefore very pertinent and timely, as demonstrated by a large turnout of patients, mostly women, children and elderly, from the 3 major districts of the area. The free medical services, which target 26,000 patients, cover medical consultations, counseling, basic laboratory screenings and treatments, surgery, medical glasses and drugs. It also includes free distribution of treated mosquito nets to pregnant women and nursing mothers.
The chief of air staff have been doing this across the country. They have been doing it virtually all over the country, all the states of this country. And he has also noticed that the Kanoma community here, for whatever reason, they have these needs. And therefore, he has directed us to be here to carry out these services.
Village head of Kanoma, Marafa Muhammad Musa, who spoke on behalf of 3 district heads in the area, expressed gratitude to the Nigerian Air Force for the intervention. Some of the beneficiaries who spoke with NTA News said the gesture will go a long way in alleviating their suffering. The NAF medical outreach, which is built to last for 3 days, is expected to be extended to some other local government areas of Zamfara State. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
The encouragement to Nigerians to engage in agriculture by the Buhari administration is yielding positive results in Sokoto State. Muhammad Nasir visited Ilela International Markets and others to assess the impact of such investment. The report.
The clarion call by President Muhammadu Buhari and the priority attention to the agricultural sector by government have made people in Sokoto to massively go back to the farms. The situation, coupled with the divine blessings of sufficient rainfall, had led to bumper harvest in the previous years in Sokoto State. Though it is not 2019 harvest season, the availability of food items flooding markets had led to downward slide in the prices of the commodities. At Ilela International Market, for instance, a bag of maize that was sold at the cost of 9,000 naira is now 7,500 naira. Guinea corn sold at 8,000 naira is now 6,500 naira. Beans sold at 23,000 naira a few months ago is now 12 to 13,000 naira. Locally produced rice is now 23,000 naira as against 25,000 naira. Price of groundnut has also slashed down from 30,000 naira to 26,000 naira. This situation has reduced the nation's over-dependency for food on other nations and at the same time provide job opportunities for teeming Nigerians.
Mr. President have done a lot in farming. We farmers and we producers were happy that in this time.
The current situation of food items in markets fosters happiness among both farmers and consumers, and more is expected at the peak of this year's harvest season. In Sokoto, Muhammad Nasir, NTA News.
And that's it from Sokoto. It's back to Jumo in Abuja for more on Network News. Good evening.
Thank you, Asmau. We take another break. We will be right back. Don't go away.
Mom, you are extraordinary. You always go the extra mile to make sure my breakfast is made with extra nutritious Milo. I want to say a big thank you. You are extra precious and extra super.
Milo is thanking moms for being extraordinary by giving the family an extra 50 grams of delicious Milo for every 500-gram pouch bought. Don't miss out. Offer valid while stocks last.
I feel alive, so alive. When I'm with my best friends, indulging my G exotic. Nothing makes my drink more than when the mixer is delightful G exotic. And after a long day, I wanna relax with the taste of my G exotic. I love the taste of G exotic. I love the taste of celebration.
I love the taste.
G exotic nectar. I love the taste.
Ronaldo na the highest. Ronaldo na the highest. Ronaldo na the highest champion. See me on the second. If you check with, if you look at it like this.
Mini-me, taste the fun. You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
Welcome back. Trades on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange appreciates as the market closed positive after the day's session. Comfort Amadou is here to tell us more on the developments in the capital market. What's new? Positive news? Good news?
You know, for some days, the market has not been doing well because there's been continuous decrease in trades, but today is actually better.
So, you know, people in the stock exchange market now will go home with a smile.
Of course. Okay. This is investors. Within the last 2 days, the capital market has not been doing well, but investors gained 14.72 billion naira as the market sentiment inched higher by 0.11% and closed at 27,748.46 points. In reduction recorded previously, with its yet-to-date presently at 11.71%. Market breadth closed negative as Fitsin led 12 gainers as against 16 losers, topped by Eternal at the end of today's session. And the market turnover also closed negative, with the volume moving down by 61.35% against the 62.31% uptick recorded previously. And WAPCO, Zenith Bank and UBA were the most active to boost market turnover, while Dangote Cement and MTN Nigeria topped market value list. Meanwhile, the Manufacturing Purchase Managers Index PMI stood at 57.6% in at start of July 2019 from the 51.4% in June 2019. The PMI survey by the Statistics Department of the Central Bank of Nigeria shows that the manufacturing industry is generally expanding for the 28th consecutive month. The expansion cuts across the petroleum, local products, transportation, equipment, cement, printing, related support activities, as well as in paper products, food and beverage, as well as tobacco products, furniture and related products. While the textile, apparel, leather, footwear subsector recorded decline in the review within the last period. And in other business stories, President Donald Trump abruptly escalated his trade war with China, announcing that he would impose a 10% tariff on $300 billion in Chinese imports that are yet subject to U.S. duties beginning from the 1st September. Trump said he said this in a tweet on Thursday, and broke on certain trade ceasefire between the world's two biggest economies. He said the 25th tariff already imposed on the $250 billion in Chinese goods will remain in place. And that's it on business news. Jume?
Thank you, Comfort. The news continues now as the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, says it is committed to working with the Nigerian Guild of Editors in ensuring that the passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill. Group Managing Director of NNPC, Mele Kolo Kyari, said this in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's resolve to open up the industry to woo more investors. The GMD said this when he received the leadership of the Guild in Abuja. Lydia Sampson reports.
The Guild of Editors comprises media organization owners, senior management staff of public broadcast, print and online, depicting they are policymakers in the journalism profession. Their role, Group Managing Director of NNPC, Mele Kolo Kyari, says, will be properly harnessed to further change the narrative of public opinion of NNPC. This, he said, will be sustained through continuous transparency and accountability.
And we'll engage you, on very regular basis. And we're going to set up a framework of engagement so that we can understand where we are going. You will understand what we are doing so that people don't assume this is what we think they are doing. Petroleum legislation efforts have been lingering since 1999. We're not able to cross it. And I'm aware, but on a very strong footing, that this government is determined to make this legislation work.
President Guild of Editors says the visit is to seek the partnership of NNPC in line with the Guild's determination to partner critical government organizations to grow the nation's economy favorably.
To ensure that what they do is known
to ensure that we provide the platforms, because we represent the entire media industry and the leaders of the newsroom, and to also ensure that we critique them, we tell them when they're not doing well.
She as well commending the appointment of Mele Kulukiari, a seasoned professional as GMD, reiterated the Guild's determination to hold the corporation accountable if they err. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And as part of the policies to reduce fragmentation in the delivery of primary health care services, a robust health care system that involves the integration of all primary health care services under one roof is being designed towards achieving universal coverage in the health sector. The Partnership for Advocacy in Child and Family at Scale, in conjunction with the Society for Public Health Practitioners of Nigeria, presented the findings of the scoping analysis of the primary health care under one roof. Ijoma Silverlane Oziomena reports that the presentation was made at the 8th Annual Scientific Conference of Epidemiological Society of Nigeria in Jos.
Fragmentation has been identified as the most significant problem facing primary healthcare services and affects utilization rates as well as indices. The Scooping Mission Under One Roof is a policy which involves integration of all primary healthcare services under one authority for proper supervision of activities. The duty of the coalition is to develop an advocacy strategy and messages for speedy implementation and its management in Nigeria.
The framework under the law at the federal level is all right, but states have to make laws and tune into what is happening.
Project director of the program with other speakers highlighted the need to fund healthcare systems by state government for sustenance.
For the sake and benefit of the people of Nigeria, because we cannot afford to continue to lag behind and be sluggish in the implementation of Primary Health Under One Roof program.
The policy Scooping Mission Under One Roof was approved by the Council of Health in 2011 and has since been implemented in at least 23 states. The Scientific Conference of the Society is the highest policy-making organ where policies on primary health care delivery are formulated. This year's conference has as its theme, Enhancing Implementation Science Through Epidemiological Research. The 3-day conference is being attended by members from 36 states of the Federation and FCT. In Jos, Ijoma Ozemena, NTA News.
You are watching NTA Network News live in Abuja. Another break beckons. Don't go away.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
Welcome back. The Nigerian Television Authority has been commended for dynamic and deep intellectualism in its content and programming. A letter by the Beautiful Gate Communications Services says NTA has approved on its statutory obligation of informing, educating and entertaining the citizenry, thereby enhancing national development. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Beautiful Gate Communications, Adebola Kesha, describes NTA's unique contribution to the development of electronic media as a feat achieved through the re-engineering of its programs and local content designed to advance cultural diversity. National unity and progress, an achievement he says deserves a media award. Beautiful Gates Communication Services Nigeria Limited is a leading reputable management and branding company in Nigeria, as well as an authority in media watch and assessment. The Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Hajia Sadia Umar Farouk, has commended the resilience of the people of Ganze village in the face of security challenges in the area. While condoling with the people over the recent attacks by bandits, Hajia Sadia Farouk says the Commission is poised to redouble efforts in executing its mandate of providing succor to displaced persons. She prays for quick recovery of the injured and the repose of the souls of the dead. More than 200 youths from 67 countries are in Abuja, Nigeria, for the International Labour Organization Global Youth Employment, aimed at facilitating intra- and intergenerational dialogue that will accelerate progress on youth employment and the future of work. ILO's Director General Guy Ryder, who is leading the forum, is seeking the tripartite body to give serious thought to the outcome of the forum. Emmanuel Anyimiro reports.
So we are working on green jobs. So we feel a job which is not green is not decent.
I want my future work to be better for all.
Have a job where at least there's no discrimination on the basis of disability or anything.
Voices of youth like Kisho and Musa and many others around the world are expected to be amplified in the next 2 days as thought-provoking discussions and suggestions on how to address youth unemployment and issues of decent work within their domain are expected to take central stage.
In our world of work for young people would constitute and does constitute a challenge to the very welfare, sustainability and stability of all of our countries. None are excluded.
Members of the tripartite body, including the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, say Nigeria places much value on the youth.
Given the long-time standing relationship between Nigeria and the ILO, I consider it in our national interest to reiterate our request for the upgrading of the ILO country office in Nigeria into a decent work country technical office for the English-speaking West African countries.
This forum is first of its kind in Africa, and by Saturday, a youth-led recommendation to advance the global call for action is expected. Emmanuel Ayemiru, NTA News.
Next is Sports Update with Kene Ima Abudiki.
18 gymnasts.